All right, we are in the blast off tournament. It is Monday. I'm gonna do a practice round. I'm gonna go out and qualify and just make sure I don't make the round today. So I'm just gonna go play them. Not even gonna look at them. We're just gonna go play them. Let's just get out there and play them. We'll figure it out when we get out on the course. All right, this hole right here, faux shore. I'm going to use a Titan. I'm going to try and I'll probably use a Titan on a bunch of these holes. And this is definitely going to be one of them. I have to figure out, it's been so long since I've played these holes. I know how to play them, but like where the red lines are and what ball would be ideal. We'll have to figure it out. I'd really like to not have to take this particular shot on this hole with overpower. If you're hitting up here to the top, getting into that shadow, and coming down to it. So my opponent's got, 6 topspin, extra mile 9. And I'm definitely going to do a plus 10% on the wind. They're right there at the red line. Power 4 ball might work better overall, like day to day. You got any kind of headwind, just up the ball a little bit. See how they roll out. Big ass green. Get off the green. Get off the green. I know that doesn't look like it's very far away, but I'm going to be curious to see if they've changed some geometry on these older holes, and I don't think they have. In my recollection, that should be a max OP shot. I'm at plus 12 right there. Three nine. That'd be a 4-4. There's 4-2, so it's just a little over 2 rings. I'm not going to put that forward movement back on it. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. Now, obviously, I would like to get on the green, but I'm going to see. I'm curious to see what my opponent's putt looks like here. Because back in the day, that is exactly what it should look like. You're really not that far away from the cup. If you're gonna hit the green, you either need to be right right at it, or off on the backside on the fringe. And it does drop here, so we'll see how easy this is. Still got some work to do. And from that distance, man, wind is going to be a factor. And you can see how it drops at the very end. I'm going to just go right at the flagpole. I think the wind's going to push me up to the left-hand edge of the cup, but the slope on the course is going to drop me back down to the flagpole. We'll see. Hitting it perfect. If that was the case, it'll hit the flagpole here. So that means the wind pushed me up to the top, but there's a little bit of slope where the ball is rolling off. It's breaking to the right. You can do that right there where you're doing the rough bump and just laying it up in front and chipping it on. Getting on this green can be difficult. And I think right there, like consistency wise, you could probably get away with a power 3 ball, but a power 4 ball puts you forward far enough that you could engage less topspin. So like just round after round after round, if you wanted to make that hole a lot more consistent. If you had a big power 5 inventory, a power 5 ball would work really good, because then you could get towards the front of that island. Let's go look at that island. Let's go look at it. Let's turn my grid on. Amy Cliffs. And what hole is that? That's hole number 2. Yeah, so where my red line was at right there, looking at the green end, red lines being in this area, maybe just a little bit forward of that. If you could start off up here in the front, instead of having to put on, my opponent put on 6 topspin, but they pushed the wind back in, so they were right up against the red line. Ending up over here, those putts are, I mean, my opponent got super lucky that that putt went in. The other way you could do is what I was doing, where you clip that rough and then you just bleed out here and got the chip in. But if you wanted to try and get closer to the hole, bringing out a bigger power ball so that you can start off here in the front. And I still, if I brought out a power 5 ball, what I would want to do is work it out so that I pull back from the red line so that I'm at maybe like +8, +6, and give myself some distance to the red line so that if we had a headwind, you could still work the wind out. And what that's going to do is that you're probably going to be able to get that down with maybe 3.5 topspin, and then you could get a better run at the cup. So burning some power 5 balls on this, but this hole right here is key. I mean, starting the tournament off with an eagle on this hole would be like super good. All right, I guess I am going to look at them. Okay, you talked me into it. Let's look at them. All right. Man, I know in one-on-one play, I play this at +30 all the time. It is so far down that hill. Let me think. Let me put my thinking cap on. I'm going to play it at +30. Well, let's go practice it. Let's go play it. That little bit of time and it timed me out. All right. All right. All right. I got you. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Have some fun. I was going to go get some work done today, and it's raining, so we had a rain day. Hole number 2. What am I going to take for a ball on this hole? I have no idea what I'm going to take for a ball. I don't think I need much. I'm just going to take a navigator and cut the wind down a little. Cut the wind down 1.3 times whatever the wind is. Pretty sure this is grizzly range. Maybe. Maybe. Ah, kingfisher. Kingfisher. There's Max. And I'm getting towards Max. Eking towards Max. I want my ball to fall off that hill. 2.3, 2.99 divided by 1.1, like 2.7. And there's 2.7. That's as close as I can get to it. Hitting it perfect. I can't believe there was enough time on there for me to actually get that shot off. Right there, right at it. And that was with a 30% adjustment at max club. I wasn't quite at max club. It's probably more towards like maybe 70%, 80%. But if you put your ball guide in so that it's going straight at it, I have found that I'm always off. But if I pull my shot off to the right a little bit, like what my opponent's doing right there, I've had not nearly as much success from that side as if you pull it over to the right so that you're engaging that hill and you're dropping it down to the cup. And this is one of those rough bumps on that hill. If you hit it wrong, it's going to take a straight bounce straight up in the air and could be really bad. They obviously have their wind adjustment right. Oh, I can't believe that didn't bounce over. My intention there was to miss that. I should have missed it off to the side and made sure I missed it so I can play aggressive on the last holes. I don't want to get to the last hole, and man, if I make this shot, then I'm going to qualify. I don't want to qualify today. Just want to practice. Before we had the practice session, this is exactly how we did it. We just go out there on Monday and practice. Usually I practice in both my accounts. Sometimes I'd practice in one, and then I'd feel it, and then I'd continue on. But usually you'd start tanking some putts. Always be nice to your opponent. Hole number 3 is hole number 9. All right. I definitely want to bring out, let's see which way the wind's blowing. I'm going to bring, I haven't played this hole in a long time. And let me tell you something about this hole. I have sat here and burned tons of balls looking for the shot up here where, like, when you're way back, you may not be able to reach over here, but you can get up on this hillside, and trying to bring it around so that it runs down that hill and comes down here. And I've had that shot work out like maybe 5% of the time. It's not good. You really want to go at it. And I don't think there's no bouncing from here over to the other side. Maybe. Maybe a Horizon's got enough topspin you could get that done, but I don't think so. You pretty much, if you're trying to get on and two, you're going to have to blast yourself over to the other side over here. And in my recollection, not having played this in a bit, I believe my ideal, you can bring a sniper, but I'm going to bring, let's see what I want to bring here. I'm going to bring this bag, but I'm going to switch this up for a Guardian. Everything else there should work. Hold on. Let me switch one thing in that bag. Switch that Hornet for that Kingfisher. Off we roll. Getting the, oh man, that wind will be really tough. You're going to have to get everything on the drive. Thing about a Guardian with headwind is you can do a max overpower shot, and it's got so much backspin, you can do a max overpower backspin shot and stick it. Let's see if I can remember. Now I know that on the drive, I always did like a plus 10. Put on like 2.5 topspin. If memory serves, it doesn't take a lot. I'm going to start at the plus 1 mark. 2.5, so it'll be 2.7. It's 2.1 per ring, so that'll at least be 6, so that's about a ring and a third. And I'm going to have to lean to the left to bring it back to the fairway. Hitting it perfect. El perfecto. Now, if I don't get up to the top of that, and I'm short, so I need to put on at least in that type of wind, I need to put on at least another topspin. So talking maybe 3. You've got to get up to the top of that ledge. Have the trees changed? The shadows right there, you're definitely wanting to get to those shadows. It looks like the sun is a slightly different direction. That shadow used to come out a little bit. Now, I can't believe that my opponent's going to be able to make it over with a katana ball. It's not going to happen. Maybe. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's definitely where you want to get, right there in those shadows. You want to get up there on the flat part at the top. No way. Okay, I got it. I got it. All right, here we go. See if I can hit that rough. Get on the green. So in that situation right there, a big dog cataclysm will work really, really well. Any of your big hitting woods, but with the headwind situation, depending on your club levels, with the headwind situation, the Guardian, especially if you've got like a mid-late developed Guardian with its power, it gives you a few options. If I got all the way to the tip up there with that Guardian, I still got a great shot to the cup. If you bring out a power 4 ball, then you're putting yourself with your sniper. So once again, this is bringing out some... I'm amazed that my opponent was able to make it over there with a katana. Amazed. I'm going to miss this putt. I'm going to miss it. I'll have to go back and watch and see what my opponent, where they were at there. I wasn't really paying attention. I was talking. I'm amazed that they were able to make it over there with a katana. I would have had a much easier shot if I would have hit all the way up where my opponent was at. So I suppose they were in the ideal spot. Good game. Good game. Always freaks people out. You miss putts or something. Good luck. Just practicing, man. Exit. What we got here? Hole number 4? Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? Hole number 4 is hole number 6. I have no clue on this one. No clue. Let me switch my ball real quick so I can spend a little bit more time setting the shot up. I'm going to use a Quasar. Now, in the last few times we've had this in tournaments, this is not one of my, where I'm, hey, get off there. Move my pen. This is not a bit of high percentage hole-in-one hole for me over the years. Have made hole-in-ones here, but it's not a, not something I go, yep, I got a serious chance here. Point. Let's see which way my opponent goes at it. I've been doing exactly what my opponent's doing, trying to bring it around from the left to the right. If you take it more to the left, the run out looks pretty good. The problem is that on the left-hand side, that hill face, it's hard to be consistent. Hit it a little bit to the left, and it bounces off to the left. You hit it a little bit low on the right, and it bounces off to the right. It definitely likes to fall off. If you come in a little hot, it definitely likes to fall off to the right on this cup. 1.2, 4.4, 5.28 rings. Where the hell am I at in my club? That's a good question. There's max. There's min. I'm eking towards min club. Min club with my Grizzlies 1.4 per ring. Divided by 1.4. It's 3.77 rings. And I don't like those spots. 3.77 rings. There's 3.77. Have to snap it off. Hit it one ring right to the right. And it just went straight. I have no idea what I'm going to do on this hole. I don't like that spot where I was in out there on the on the tee shot, because there's no, what that shot is where instead of finding a spot on the course where you go, hey, I'm 3 rings off of this and I'm in this spot, I'm 3 rings off and I'm at +2, or and then you make your adjustment to the cup. This is where you need to know what the adjustment to the cup is. You make that adjustment and then you move the ball guide around until you find the spot that it works. Because there's no other marker out there. You're just out in the middle of the fairway. We're not in any plus numbers. In the hole. I should have missed that putt. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? All right. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? Hole number 5 is hole number 7. All right. Let's bring a Titan out. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. I'm going to bring my number 1 bag. I'm pretty sure. And a Titan. The king of balls. See which way the wind's blowing. It's favorable wind. I may time out on the drive here because when I talked in the scouting report yesterday, there's a third shot that's not on the, if you're looking at Tommy's or Golf Clash notebooks, or hole guides, there's a shot that's on there that you can take from back here where you're bringing it around and you're trying to hit it through the tree and bleed out. You can see where my bounce is right there. So if I put some curl on it, and this shot right here, so if I set the ball up and then put curl on it so that I'm trying to aim in that area. I'll do this shot right here. 4-2. That should be 2 rings. And I'm going to put max curl on it. Hitting it perfect. And you can bring it out that way. You can do that in one-on-one, and it works even better with an APOC because you got a little bit more curl, so you don't have to have so much topspin. The cool thing about that shot is you do not have to bring out a big ball to do it because I was back from my red line. You can see where they're at with their red line. So with you could easily get that done with a quasar. Probably right at your red line with quasar. So a katana is probably a great ball for that. I suppose with some of the clubs, once they get upper developed, you might be able to get your bounces right to get over that sand trap and try and get on and one. That would be a good trick. Just like my opponent did right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice, man. Max club. I am at max. It's 1.2. Let's pull back a little and see if I can run my top spin out. Where does that put me? It's probably eking towards mid, which is 2.4, which would be 1 ring. I'm going to do 1 ring and a little. Oh, and I'm not going to get it when I hit it great to the left. It's going to go great to the left. Great to the left. And as close as I was there with that club, a perfect would have been right in the cup. Right in the cup. So it'd be 2.4 times 1.1 equals divided by 2.4. Should have been 1.1 rings, and that's what I was trying to pull. That's about where I was at. I like my opponent's shot, though. That might be the closest I've ever seen anybody get on there, is doing what my opponent did. Nice shot. Very nice. If they can do that all week, they're in a good spot. The only thing I didn't like about their shot setup there, when I go back, I'll watch this video, I'm going to really pay attention to what they did on their shot. I did that one because I know that, you know, there's a lot of people out there, you may not have bigger balls, or you want to save your ball inventory. And so it is, you can work from over here to do a rough bump off of this rough to bleed yourself out and get out here in front. And it doesn't take that much effort. And where my opponent got over here and where their red line was out on this island, the only thing I would probably change on this is to switch to a kingmaker, so that if you've got a forward, if you've got tailwind, you can work the wind out. And if you've got headwind, because with a 3-power ball, their red line's probably going to be somewhere up in here. So if they wanted to start at the backside of that land, of that little island, it would give them just a little bit of room to be able to work out some headwind. Not a lot, but it may give them enough that you wouldn't have to do any overpower. That shot screams consistency, and consistency is not having to do any overpower. Hole number 6. What is hole 6? Hole 6 is hole number 3. Da 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 da. All right, this is the hole. I couldn't believe that this wasn't in the albatrossable hole, because this is the condor hole. This, of all of the par 5s in the game, this one is definitely albiable. It's almost to the point where you have to get an albi on this hole. I mean, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, you almost have to get an albi. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. Okay, we got favorable wind, so a Titan will work. A Titan will work. This would be a great hole for one of those top spin boost balls. If you're using, there's going to be wind conditions where we can come out here and use a power 3 ball. And if you've got a power 3 ball that's got top spin boost, that is going to be spectacular. If you even with a power 4 ball, normally with a power 4 ball, I'm right off the green and have to chip it up. And let me tell you, that chip is scary as hell, but it is makeable. All right. All right. Okay, I want to be out in the middle of that island. So right there is where I want to start. 3-5. I didn't like the 2-ring grate to the right, but where it'll get in trouble is right up here, where it'll get up to the top. Just stay off the green. Oh, I can't make that putt. That's a death throw right there. If I'd have been on the fringe, that would be a super makeable shot, but right there, I think that's an overpower putt. I don't know if I can make it from there. That's a bummer. Just a little teeny bit. If I wouldn't have hit it great to the right, I think I could have engaged the green and maybe got a little bit more towards the cup. I usually like to come at this hole from the right. We'll see if we can get, when my opponent's coming up here, if you come at it from the right and you actually engage the green, you can see it's all downhill. So if you can catch the green, it'll roll down towards the cup. But I think this is a max overpower putt. Yeah. Yeah, you can't even make it. That's these older greens like that. So if you end up just bleeding off onto the green, you're screwed. I normally like to be like right in this, like the shots in the past, because we haven't top spin boost stuff. I usually end up like right here on the top. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to engage the green at the top, so that if I just barely touch the green, it'll roll down towards the cup. If I remember correctly on this particular shot from this spot, even though the cup is downhill from where our ball is laying on the ground, it seemed like we were taking a little bit of wind off. And so hitting it great to the right there is probably not a bad thing. Ooh. Not bad. But this hole is definitely albiable. I got a little unlucky there, but that's just how it works. That's how it works. Definitely got to standardize that. In the hole. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? Hole number 7. Now, this is why it's so important to record your own gameplay. So at the beginning of every week, what I normally, I don't worry the first round that I play. I don't worry at all about win numbers. It doesn't matter. At the first, my first goal is to figure out what clubs and what ball I want to use. And where do I want to be? Because really, when you're taking these shots to the green, the drive is nothing more than a delivery system to put you into a spot. And so you want to be right here off the green so that you can come down, or if you caught the green, it would roll down to the cup, and this is the area that you want to be in. You know, your drive shot to there is nothing more than a delivery system. The money shot here is the shot on the other end. And so the very first thing I ever worry about is what clubs and what ball. And so I may have an idea of what the deal is, and then I go, you know what, I really want to land right there. And so what's the best club to get me right there? You know, is it an extra mile? Is it an APOC? Is it a big topper? What's going to get me to the spot consistently? And what ball am I going to need? And then you can start looking at that second shot, because it really doesn't matter. Like, you can come into it and go, oh, I've got all these win numbers and I know what the deal is. And then you get out there and they were hitting to the island. And so the number that you're looking at is here and you're hitting to over here. And I can tell you that these numbers, your adjustment to the cup is not going to be the same. Or they're hitting here and you're hitting up here, or you're hitting there and they're hitting there. So you're not going to know until you can figure out what you can get done with your clubs. So once you've established what club you need to get to the spot that you want to get to, and usually, depending on the hole, especially if it's newer holes, it may take a couple rounds to figure out, okay, hey, I want to use my, extra mile to get to this point, and then on the other side I'm going to use a sniper, on the other side I'm going to use a guardian, or whatever your clubs are, and what ball combo. And once I get the club and the ball combo figured out, that hey, this is what I'm going to take because I'm trying to hit to right there, then I start working on win numbers. Now the drive win numbers, you're going to notice them right off. I'm really, really cognizant when I play of where my first bounce is. And especially on holes where you're bouncing from here and then you're just trying to clear a rough area here, I'm really cognizant of where my first bounce was and where my second bounce was. And that will immediately tell you if you need to start doing an adjustment on your drive. Because a lot of these holes, we don't necessarily have to do an adjustment on our drive, but holes where it's like super critical and we don't have hitting over here, if you didn't do any adjustment other than just a normal wind adjustment, you're probably always going to be fine. Look how damn wide the fairway is. But when you're hitting into narrow areas like this right here, it may be it could be important to know what that adjustment is. So first days, just figuring out what club ball combo, and that's going to tell me where I'm going to be. And now I start working on those wind adjustments. And the best thing that you can possibly do for yourself, if I can't give anybody out there, I'll give you the best advice that I can possibly give you. Record your own gameplay. Because then you can go out and shoot around, and then you can go back and watch your gameplay and you can critique yourself. And what I find that's cool, it's like on the par 4 where my opponent brought out the katana and hit it over there. I don't remember what the hell their shot was, or how they did that, or what the bounce through was, but I can go back and watch the video and watch my opponent take a shot. Sometimes my opponents will take shots and I'm like, holy crap, that's a great way to go at it. Or like they're doing that shot and they're doing the same shot as me and they made a different adjustment, and you can go back and you can look at those and learn from your opponents, and you can learn from yourself, because how many times you made a great shot and went, wow, what the hell did I do there? You can go back and watch the replay that's in it, but it's not nearly as good as recording your own gameplay. And there's a lot of different, you can do your recorder is the one that I use, but there's a lot of different ones. And the reason I use D-Recorder is because it gives me the pen. And I couldn't do this without a pen. I got to be able to draw on the screen. Come on. Hole number 7. It's hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right, this is definitely par 4 hole-in-one range right here. I can't remember how much spin to put on it, but this is definitely a hole, and this is another one of those holes that these newer balls with the top spin boost is huge. If I remember correctly, it is a. If I remember correctly, with a power 5 ball, you don't have to do overpower. If you bring out a power 3 ball, you got to do overpower. Yeah, with a power 5. Don't like that look. Yeah, I think with a power 5 ball, you don't have to do any overpower. I'm about 2 rings off from where I'd really like to be. There's 4-2, there's 4-4 and a little. There's about a 10%. Hit a 1 ring right to the right. And that was about half overpower, so it's probably not going to get me all the way up to the green, but put me up on the fringe. That's why a power 5 ball there, you can standardize that shot. You probably wouldn't, unless you had an absolutely due headwind, you probably wouldn't have to put any overpower on it at all, and you can go for the hole-in-one. I'm going to try and make this shot just so that I can, because that area that I'm at right out there is going to be a pretty popular spot. A lot of people are going to overshoot this. And you got to worry about that sand trap on the backside. My opponent's got the albatross ball, which is exactly, they're at plus 27 right there. It's probably easier to pull from the other side. Yeah, there you go. Albatross ball. Hitting it perfect. That's going to be super close. Super. This hole right here, if you do not get an eagle on this hole, you just dropped a shot. And that's fact. Because there are going to be way too many people on these brackets that are going to get an eagle on this. I mean, Wayne could play a factor, so I'm going to hedge my bet. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if Win was a factor, I'll hit the flagpole. If Win wasn't a factor, I will come in on the left. So Win was a factor. In the hole. Yeah, you've got to get an eagle on this hole. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. All the par 4s in this, the first par 4 and this par 4, in my opinion, you've got to get an eagle on them. In that mid par 4, we've got a great opportunity for eagle there. Of course, you got to hit perfect for it to go in, which I didn't do. Hole number 8. What's cool about these practice rounds, you can just play a quick practice round and go out there and really kind of get a look at it. Hole number 8 is hole number 1. This is the island par 3? This is the island par 3. I'm going to do a plus 15% because I know when the game first came out, on like forever and a day, we've always done, and this is one of the first holes really that we started doing adjustments on because of how the wind comes through. And if you've played Golf Clash for any length of time, you know when you're hitting, we've got water, and then we've got this chasm. And when the ball's going from here over, and it's downhill to this spot, and then it's going over this chasm, that it affects the ball. And so pretty soon, this is the first hole that I remember doing adjustments on. And the plus 10 worked when this was a bowl and the cup was kind of like in the bottom of it. This hole was very hole-in-oneable when the game first came out. And then they changed it and they put the flagpole, they put the cup right on a little mound right there, and the plus 10 hasn't worked quite as well for me. So I switched my numbers in one-on-one play and doing a plus 15. So we'll try it out. We'll try it out. I haven't had nearly as much success on this hole since they changed and put the flagpole on that little mound. There are several holes in the game that are down here: Sakura Hills, Nahimi Cliffs, some of these lower tours that they've changed the green. What they haven't changed on the green is you can still do those max overpower putts that you can't reach. They didn't change that geometry, but they definitely changed where the cup is. I'm going to use a Nirvana. Or not a Nirvana, but a whatever that Power 1 ball is with the low end. I went brain dead right there. I cannot remember what that ball is. You can see how the green is. There's a mound where the green's at, and so if you're on the left or the right hand side, it's going to roll off, and it's just on that little teeny. There's a little teeny run coming up to it. So the wind's 2.8, 3.2. Am I sniper? Or am I at my club? I'm in men's sniper. Or I'm in max grizzly. Oh, I got a power 3 ball, so let's switch that up. Let's switch it to a navigator. There we go. Minimum sniper. So divided by 1.3 per ring, it's 2.47 rings. 2.47. Oh, shit. That was so far off. It was way off. Way off. I'm going to have to go practice that. I can't abide by that. I have some practice tokens. I'll go practice that one time. I can't give you guys a 75 ring great to the right on a freaking par 3. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Dang it. Missed the putt. Make sure we've got, well, we're going to have plenty of room between it, but I have no idea how people are playing. I haven't been paying attention to the scores. -9's not going to get me in. But it could. Now there's too many people still going. I mean, it's got to be, minimum score has got to be -12. And this right here, this -16, I was going through, there's 4 holes on here that we're just pretty much going to have to get. And -16, I think, is going to be like -12 is the minimum score so that you're not dropping anything off of, you're not dropping any shots. But you're going to have to pick up 4 per side just to keep up with the Joneses. So -32 will get you into the hunt. The reporters, when you get off of the green on hole number 18, aren't going to come up and start talking to you about the leaderboard unless you're at -16. -15 in some brackets, they may come over and they may, talk to you for 5 seconds. But if you really want to get an interview where you're up there, you're going to have to shoot a -16, and that means that we're looking at 32, and you're going to have to pick up 1 more shot somewhere in order to put you into the hunt. just depending on bracket. So in my mind, 32 is where we start, and we really want to shoot a 33 or better in order to get a banner. But in some brackets, 32 could be the outstanding person in that bracket. So it's going to be a really low scoring tournament. Let me go play that hole one more time. Let's go play that one more time. I want to at least get one look at what that looks like. And that hole is going to be one where we're going to have to chase the wind around, I believe. Where one round, if we've got tailwind like we had today, we'd be fine. But if we've, you could have one adjustment for that, and then if we've got a headwind, it may be different, or a side wind may be different. We may have to change our percentage around. If I can find an opponent, you get some bonus action here on hole number 8. This hole is tough from the expert and master's tees. It can be, depending on your clubs. Let's see if my opponent can get it in. Not exactly sure what they're doing. Okay, if you're setting up a shot on a par 3 and you're using curl, you may make it, but it's not going to be consistent. That green being on that mound has made it tough. Let's do the wind first. 2.9 divided by 1.3. I'm going to use a navigator. There's min club, so I want to pull forward from the min. Put my white ring on the rough up there in the front. 2.9, it's 2.56 rings. Here's 2.56. Let's see if I can hit this perfect. Hitting it perfect. I was running out of time on the other one, and I kind of rushed it a little, and that was still not enough of a pull. Not even close. Not even close. Not close at all. This one right here, why am I getting hit? Damn it. Definitely at min club. What I could do there is a max number with no adjustment. Just a max, even though I'm at min club, because that'd be a 30% adjustment. Let's practice that one more time. One more time. All right. You guys talked me into it. One more time. What I'm going to do is a 30% adjustment. So if you do the math, it's 1.3 times the wind divided by 1.3 because I'm at minimum club. So the 1.3s take each other out and you're just hitting the wind. So I'm just going to do a max number, and that's a 30% adjustment. And let's see if I can. Right there, I didn't take enough out, and I was on the right-hand side of the cup. So my goal here is to do so big of an adjustment that I end up on the other side of the cup. Then I know what my swing is. So I did a 15% adjustment on the front, and if I do a 30% adjustment here, we'll see if I can get either right at the flagpole or if I end up on the left-hand side of the flagpole. And I have my white ring on the transition between the rough and the fairway. Come on, dude. It's power 2, low wind, precision 3. Are you really? Okay. hitting it perfect. The deal is, and that's what you brought out that ball for. There are some holes that are so makeable that those precision balls, like really helping yourself out in case something happens, would be really good. But on a hole like this, I don't think of this as a high percentage hole. Okay, and we've got a headwind here, so okay, I'm just going to do a 3-9 because I'm more worried about trajectory than I am about distance. So 3-9, basically 4 rings. Pretty close. There's 1, 2, 3, 9. This wind's not going to be as helpful as the last wind. Oh, that would have been closer, for sure. So I'm going to make a note on my notes, but I'm gonna start off with a 30. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how that goes. Would have liked to have hit that perfect though to see where it was. I still don't think I pulled it enough. I still think it would have been on the right-hand side of the cup. I'll be nice and no, I'm not going to be nice because they wasted that precision ball. In practice, come on, man. All right. Let's get the hell out of here and let's play hole number 9. Hole number 9. Oh my gosh. I have no idea how I really want to play hole number 9. Hole number 9 is hole number 8. The safe bet is to take the yellow line. You can lay yourself, and I know, like from the expert tees, if you're playing an expert, there's shots that you can take on this. I want to see what it looks like with some of these newer balls with the topspin. You're down in this area here with the power 3 ball. You do not want to have to do any overpower on this drive shot, because it is very easy to end up in a bad spot. I'm just wondering, like, can we bring the ball around with some of these bigger balls where you can get in here with like an APOC and you try and bring the ball around. Let's go mess around. Let's go do one practice round. That way we can sit out there and it doesn't matter if we time out. Let's see what it looks like. We'll do a practice. All right, yeah, I guess you're getting lots of bonus content. Hole number 9. Hole number 9. I got to save a few just in case. I'll probably play with Dunner tomorrow. Wednesday, got to have some practice rounds. There will definitely be some holes he'll want to go out there and practice on. He's got a lot more accounts than me. That's the deal. You see a lot of streamers, they'll come out and they'll play the rounds and they've already got really good numbers and you're like, wow, they just pulled that out. No, they've got so many accounts, they played 4 or 5 rounds before they started videoing, so they already have some good numbers. So you didn't actually get to see the process that they go through in order to figure out those numbers. And for me, I think the most important thing to help you guys learn is the process to try and figure out those numbers. And this wind sucks. Blows. Where in the hell are you trying to go to, dude? Are you just literally trying to get... Where the hell are you going? That's a really weird way to set that shot up. Like, let's see where our red lines are at here. Let's change that to a katana. Let's put it all on. Let's switch to this bag. Where's my second bounce going to be? 4, 5. That should be about 3 rings. I just want to see what that looks like. A little teeny bit of overpower. Hitting it perfect. I want to see if I can bridge it over there. And you can. And that's a pretty good spot right there. I've never gone at it that way before, but so first time going at it that way. I have no idea what this shot's going to be coming into the cup. It's got to be long iron. That might actually be like min long iron. That's the thing about coming from that side. If you want to get, you've got to get your bounces right. If you got a headwind like that, it can be very easy to end up in that rough area. There's max. There's min. So I am in mid long iron. 2.7 divided by 1.4. About 2 rings. 2.1. 2.1 rings. 2.1. I did a 10% adjustment there at minimum club. Hitting it perfect. Just a bit outside. Should have put a little bit more from that spot. I'm not sure I liked coming in at it and have to put that much side spin, that left-hand side spin on it. Having only shot that once from that area, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give you guys some more bonus content. I'm gonna go out there and practice that one more time. I'm gonna see if that's repeatable. Like, can I get that? Can I actually get that done? Probably take an APOC 4 in order to get the curl. Or you could bring out your extra mile with a ball that's got more side spin. I think the deal there is that that it wouldn't really help you, because I don't think you would need to put on so much topspin. I don't know that you would be able to eke out any more side spin. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if I can repeat that shot 2 times. Let's see if it's repeatable. It looked like it might be. Practice now. Hole number 9. Play. Play it once. Finding an opponent. Maybe. I think if I end up in that same spot, I'm going to do a 30% adjustment to the cup. I'm not, and I got to be honest with you, I'm not 100% comfortable with my grizzly numbers. A minimum club, it should be 1.4 per ring, but I'm not sure if that's 1.4 with a lower power ball. So it actually might be, and I pulled back just a little. Put max on. I'm going to go 2.5 rings off that transitional surface. So I've got half my blue ring in the rough and half my blue ring in the fairway. 2.3. It's 1.5 per ring, so it should be about a ring and a half. And it's downhill, so I'm going to do a ring and a half and then a little bit more, about a ring and 3/4. Max overpower, or max curl, just a little teeny bit of overpower. You know, 1 ring great to the right. It's doable, for sure. That shot can definitely be worked out take a little teeny, last time we were in the headwind, so it laid it down on the other side, and here we had a little bit, and I didn't need to do the overpower. Maybe take just a titch of topspin off. This hole, it seems like it's playing different. It could just be me. It's been a long time since I played this hole, and I have non-fond memories of this hole, I can tell you that. Because it doesn't seem like we used to be able to get all the way over to the other side to do those types of shots. It seems like the hole is shortened up a little. Okay, I'm going to do a 30% adjustment. Where the hell am I at in my club? There's max. There's mid. So I'm about mid club. So it should be about 4 per ring. So 3.8 times 1.3 divided by 4. It's 1 1/4 rings. One and a quarter rings. There's 1 1/4. Oh. That shot may be the way, instead of trying to just dink around so that you've got to come at it with your wood, trying to just get over on that side right there. There's not enough curl on any club that's going to put you to the left where you could be in the drink. So safety wise, if you end up in the rough or end up in the sand up there, you're still super makeable. I mean, hell, I was in half club right there. And that was that would have been being all the way up there by that sand trap. Half club would have been short iron for sure. All right, that's how I'm going to play that hole. I'm gonna try that out this week. I'm definitely going to be more aggressive on this as opposed to hitting it back. We'll explore some new options. This is another one of those holes too that, depending on where you're out on the green, there are some difficult putts, especially down on here. So like if you overhit and you're down here on the bottom, there's some difficult putts from down there because it doesn't look like it from right here, but it's really mogully. The green's not real flat. And you can get one of those ones where you're looking straight at the hole, and then right before it gets to the hole, it veers off. And it's one of those things where, like, normally on putts, if you hit it a great to the left or the right, it's not really going to matter when you're that close. But this is one of those holes that if you hit it great to the left or the right, it could matter because it follows the slope and then it breaks away from the cup. All right, there was a quick practice round. That way I can go back and watch the video and see what clubs and then I can make some notes. Like right now I have no notes. The only notes I have is what holes they were. So at Golf Clash Notebook, I knew which holes to go look at. That's the only notes that I have. So now I'll be able to go back and watch this video and make some notes with ball, club, and all that, and then go from there. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great week, and I'll shoot some more videos and post it up and show you how it's going as the week goes along. Stay safe.